These will probably be factory set. So 24 is a maximum PSI. I would imagine 20 is all you're going to want in there. I wouldn't go putting any more. The more pressure you put in there, the more they concave, convex, which then domes them. And you don't really want that. You want them sort of sat like they are, a little bit of a bulge at the bottom, so they're sat flat. If you bulge them up, they then make ruts. In the same for the back. I've got a feeling that's probably nearly the same. So maximum 35 PSI in this one. I'd have that one on about 25, 26, 27. I don't know if you've
20
got...
and 25 is easy to remember, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I always go 5 or 10 less than what it says. I mean, on these car tyres it says 50 PSI. I mean, I'd never put bloody 50 in there, ridiculous. There's your valve behind there, which is protected. That's about it for the tyres. Back up to here, here's your foot brake. So that clicks on and off on that little red lever. So when you want to lock it on, push your foot down, pull that up, and that locks it. And when you come to do it, don't worry about touching that, just put your foot there, and then that clicks down. So up, down, and that locks it on. Onto here, this is your 4-wheel drive. So that's off. When the gear sometimes with the tractor, he won't click in. So if you start it up, move them slightly forward or backwards, and that'll jump in gear. The way he's locked at the moment, I expect the spindles aren't quite right. I'll just show you. So that one goes there, you'll get a lot more power, you can rev it up, you won't go so fast. So if you were really cutting quite thick heavy grass, put it into low, put the revs right up, and then you're going slightly slower, where if you're having high, you have the revs right up, and go a lot quicker. So for heavy work, I'd have it low, but for up here, to whip it up and down, taking the grass over, I'd have it high. You'll gauge the speed by basically listening to the motor at the end. If you've got it cranked right up, put it flat on the floor, you hear it going to the which is then going too quick to walk back to the camera. So that's your high and low, and there's your neutral. I mean, you can start it in high, you can start it in low. It doesn't have to be in neutral to start it. That does have to be down before you start it though. So this is your PTOs. This one is fitted with a mid-mount PTO. So you could have a deck underneath here, which you're not going to really want anyway. So is the 540 rear. So into there, and that engages then your transmission for your PTO, which runs your deck. So make sure, if you ever start it up and you're going along and you press that one down to start the PTO, oh, it's not, it's probably because it's in neutral. So click him back and then he's in. Right, so if we come on to here now, so start with the seat with these ones. That's your back and forward, and this is your weight distribution for your seat. So the heavier you are, you're going to want to crank it up more. The less weight you are, you crank it down, and that provides that ride. So obviously, depending on the size chap, I mean, if you set it sort of middle, about what he is, if you get somebody really heavy, they might want to, because if someone was really heavy and sat on here, that's going to sink right to the bottom, and there'll be no suspension. You'll just be like that, hitting the bottom of the thing all the time.
Come on. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So it tells you there, minus, plus. So the heavier you are, the more you turn it. The less heavy you are, the less you turn it. Down here, you've got a diff lock. So if it was really wet, you've got it in 4-wheel drive, and it's still struggling, push that down with your foot, and that will lock all the wheels to turn exactly the same time together. So you don't have, with a 4-wheel drive system, you can still get this one spinning and this one spinning, but these two are not doing much. If you lock them in, the whole system engages and it should get you out. But again, you ain't going to be cutting when it's like that anyway. So it's there just if, you know, a difficult thing ever does happen. Again, that's your flow for the back. That one there, that's your cruise control. I would recommend not using that, because if you put cruise control on and you're going along there and you come down and think, oh, and you go like that, and it can be more trouble than it's worth. Whereas if you stick with this, you get in trouble, you take your foot like that, you stop. Whereas the cruise control, if you do panic, you're going to keep going. Yeah. And then, you know, if you're down over there, that's going to be a problem. So I wouldn't bother with that. Yeah. If you were doing acres and acres, then it's a bit different. But up and down here, especially because you've got hedges and banks, and if someone's not great on it and they've got this on, it could be, oh, you're down over and then you're phoning me for a new tractor, which I don't mind. But lights, indicators all on there, and your horn. There's your hazard lights. There's your throttle up and down. So the more you push it that way, the more throttle you get. While we're talking about the throttle, when using that deck, it says there PTO 540, which is that one there. It says the green. So when you rev it up, you want that needle to be pretty much on that PTO 540. When you're engaging the PTO, if you've got the revs already up and you engage that needle will drop because it's pulling more power. So then you'll need to put it up. So when that's running, that needle needs to be at 540, which is just above the 30 really. And you don't want it any more than 35. I mean, you can push it to its limit, but once you go to here, you're really starting to push it then. So I would stick with sort of pretty much in line, that needle at 540. And then when you come to start, I'll start up and do it again in a minute. When you come to use it, push, turn, and that engages the PTO. And it's got the slow start function, so if you have got the revs up, when you engage that, it doesn't go bang straight away into spinning. It slowly turns and then goes into it. So if there was something, say if somebody parked it on a breeze block and those blades couldn't go round, the PTO is not going to shatter to pieces because it is slow up and it can't do it, it stops. Instead of going bang, PTO gone. And then to turn it off, just push. So it's push down to start, push to turn off. Okay. All right. Forward and backwards. And I think that's about everything. You've got a massive wiring back here. You don't have to worry about that. That's for your lights and your indicators and everything as such. Covering off, I don't think there's anything more. Oh, if, say for instance, you had a fun day up here or something like that, and you can buy these PTO run generators and bits and bobs for lights, you can click into there. Also, I know YHC do one. They do like a portable flood lamp or whatever it is. You can plug these in, and instead of using a generator, you can run it off of here. So you start the tractor up, you can plug them in, and it'll run it. Oh, big dip stick here. That's for your hydraulic oil, and that goes in the same place as you take this out. So that goes straight into there, and you'll have, where is it to on this one? Where is it?
Looking for a level, are we?
Yeah, there's usually eye sights. I can't see where it is on this one. Where are we to? We'll have to get the manual out in a minute, John. You think these manufacturers would put them all in the same place, wouldn't you? Where would they put that to?